Hey everybody, it's Rebecca from Revenue and
John Liss.
John Liss, my trusty colleague. The Fates have decided that we are not live this week, but that's okay because we still have an awesome episode planned for you. This week we are talking about business taxes and business tax changes which have occurred in the last couple of years. These are super important, especially anybody who works with small businesses, anybody who's a tax professional. We're hoping that this information helps prepare you for the upcoming 2020 tax season here in Philadelphia. My colleague John also teaches at a course at Drexel, and so we're super excited to have him here. He's our state and local tax expert within the revenue department. Here's a warning, this might get a little nerdy, but who runs the world? Nerds. Okay, so John, a few weeks ago, you helped us out with a blog post, 10 tips for Philadelphia tax professionals.
Yes, I did.
So we'll include a link to that post within the comments for this video. But today we're going to talk about some of those tips and what you went over in that blog post. So let's start. What's the first one that you want to make sure that everybody knows about?
So the first one that's always important to people is tax rates, okay? So let's concentrate on the business income and receipts tax, which we commonly call the BIRT. The rate on net income has been reduced to 6.25%, so it continues to go down. For the gross receipts portion of the tax, the rate continues to be 1.415 mils, or decimal-wise 0.001415. That continues to be the same. And in addition, the net profits tax rates have also been reduced. So it's consistent with the wage tax rates on individuals. For net profits tax for residents, the rate is 3.8712% and 3.4481% for non-residents. And of course, if you file by paper or online, the forms are going to reflect those rates, so you won't have to worry about them. But caveat here, make sure that you always use the current year's BIRT form. Do not use, if you're filing a 2019 return, do not use a 2018 form, or do not use a 2018 form and cross out 2018 and insert 2019 because the system will not process that, right?
That's right. So if you file online, you don't have this problem at all.
Right.
It'll be automatically correct. But if you're filing paper forms, you just need to be really careful that you're filing the right return using the right year on the right return. And we do see this where people will cross out the year and write 2019 in like crayon or something. And all that will do is it basically amends whatever year form you've used, and so we get
creates all sorts of problems.
Yeah, it will.
Notices, you want to avoid notices, so
errors.
Don't do that.
Right. So just make sure you're using the right form. And the one thing I just want to point out, those reductions to the BIRT rate, the net income portion, like you said, it's 6.25%. Last year was 6.3%. There's a schedule that those are going to go down.
Yes.
So eventually, every year, that'll go down until it's 6% flat.
Right.
So always keep an eye out for that, and that's another reason why it's really important that you use the right form, because those rates change almost every year. Same with net profits and wage tax. Those rates are scheduled to go down, and they change every year.
And they change July 1st typically of every year.
Right. It's a big heads up.
Okay,
so the next tip I know is for businesses who are not in Philadelphia, but do business inside Philadelphia. So those folks who are already located here, have a physical presence within the city, you don't have to worry about it, but that doesn't mean tune out. But for folks who are not in Philadelphia but do business here, this is for you.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you're a company, you're present here, you have an office, you have a warehouse, you have people here already, this really will not impact you. So this is a big change, and essentially what we did was we've adopted what we call an economic nexus standard. It sounds very technical and scary, right?
It is a technical word.
It is a technical word, and in a sense, it just means if you have economic activity, no physical presence here, but some sort of economic activity of a certain level, and I'll get to that in a minute, that means that you have Nexus or you have a filing requirement, a BIRT filing requirement here in the city.
So basically, if you are doing $100,000 worth of business in the city of Philadelphia, then you have a requirement to file a BERT return in the city of Philadelphia.
Exactly.
And the word Nexus is just simply a kind of a technical word to mean like, to describe
connection.
The level or whether or not a jurisdiction has the authority to tax an entity. So, like we're basically clarifying the rule. And we kind of had this rule before, but now we're clarifying it to say, just make it a flat $100,000, which is also the $100,000 exemption for businesses who are located here. So it's kind of makes things consistent for everybody. Exactly.
So if you have that level of activity, it's $100,000 or more, you have a requirement to file a BERT return. The prior Nexus standard that we had, which Rebecca referred to as we called active presence, essentially that is an economic nexus standard, but what we did by implementing this threshold is to clarify it.
Right.
Because the former standard was really based on facts and circumstances. So this makes things a lot more clear. You exceed that threshold, you have Nexus, you have a filing requirement.
Right, and so for any tax pros out there, we put together an FAQ, or frequently asked question page. You can find those FAQs on our website underneath the service page for the BERT income and receipts tax. So wherever where you might find all of the information about that tax, down at the bottom of that page is an FAQ along with all the forms and all the regulations and all that sort of stuff.
And as questions arise, we'll continue to add to that FAQ list.
Okay, there's something really important for tax year 2019.
Yes, there is.
For businesses who started in 2019.
Correct.
Okay, so listen up. If you started your business in 2019.
Okay, so if you started business in 2019 or thereafter, if you're starting business in 2020 or beyond that, there are new rules regarding estimated tax payments. So essentially, business that starts in 2019 is not required to make an estimated payment toward its second year BERT return. Okay. In the past, you had to pay 100% of estimated tax for the following year.
So let me just hop in.
Sure.
So basically the way it would work is you have your first year of business, you started business in 2019, that means this year, in April 15th, you need to file your first tax return, right? And you would pay for all of your activity that happened in 2019, and then we asked you to make an estimated payment for all your taxes in 2020. So essentially, you kind of had two bills all at once. And so that is now eliminated for your first year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's eliminated. You don't have to make the estimated payment. In the second year, the second return that you file, if you're a new business that started in 2019, you can choose to make estimated payments one of two ways. You can either make them on a quarterly basis, so 4 times over the course of the year, toward your third year BERT return, or you can just pay 100% of your estimated tax.
Right. So so you get to year 2 of business, it's now 2021, and you have to pay for 2020. Well, you didn't make an estimated payment, so now you have to pay what you're supposed to pay for 2020, and now you have a one-time option to choose to make 4 estimated payments moving forward.
Correct.
Right? And by that time, you should sort of have a better idea about your business activity, how it's sort of going, maybe some more about your business cycle and what that will sort of look like.
Exactly.
To be able to make, after you've made the second year of estimated payments, you should be able to make a 100% estimated payment after that, which is what we expect moving forward.
And the purpose really is, it helps your cash flow. New business is always concerned with cash flow. So making the payments on a quarterly basis should really assist them with that.
And we know that it is really hard to talk about this, and we know that we know that this is complicated. This is like kind of chalked this up to something that is helpful but complicated, especially for new businesses who are just kind of understanding how all of this works. We have a little bit of a chart that we put together that we present when we do in-person presentations. We talk about it. We show this chart. I will make that an image, and we will post that along the comments with this video so that folks can kind of understand or kind of get a visual of explaining exactly what we're talking about right now. So, but that's really important. It's a big win for new businesses who start in 2019 and moving forward. So everybody from now on, if you start a new business, The first year, you don't have to pay an estimated payment. You got to pay for your first year of activity, but you don't have to make 100% estimated payment. The next year, you're going to pay your taxes like you would have for your previous year, and then you have the option to make quarterly estimated payments. The year after, you're sort of caught up, and it's time to make 100% estimated payments from there. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we'll post the image, and hopefully that will. I'm hopeful that will be clear to you once you actually get to see a visual of it.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, we can sit here and talk about the requirements and so forth, and the eyes glaze over. I can see. Well, I can't see, but if I could see. So again, this chart really should be helpful.
We definitely
to
have
new
said
businesses.
1,000 words, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and so the next thing that we're talking about is something that's important. There was a bill that passed last year that waives the filing requirements for businesses that have less than $100,000 worth of receipts, Philadelphia gross receipts, in a year. But so I think some of our viewers are going to want to know about that. But that's fairly nuanced as well.
Correct, and it's not something that you have to be concerned about for tax year 2020.
But it's,
no, I'm
it's
sorry.
coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Don't be concerned with it yet, though.
We haven't talked about it so much because it really isn't you really don't see an effect until next year when you file your taxes.
Right.
Or don't have to file
so
your
it hasn't really been implemented yet. So essentially, it would apply to the 2021 tax season. So your BERT return that is due April 15, 2021. So next year, then you should be concerned about it. Now, going forward, okay, for the 2020 year that's due April 15th, 2021, if you have less than $100,000 in Philly receipts, say for the 2020 year, correct? For this year, okay, then you are not required to file a BERT return, a complete BERT return. Now, required is an important term here because there could be reasons for you to file a complete return, so you need to consult with your tax advisor on that when the time comes.
So we're in the development stages right now of working through what this sort of looks like for the taxpayer. So basically, taxpayers will just have like an easy form that says, no, I do not have $100,000 worth of receipts. Right. I affirm that I fall below the threshold. You sign it. That it fulfills your filing requirement. Most folks will still have a net profit tax return.
Yes.
So even though you don't have to file BERT, most people will still have to file net profits. The vast majority of businesses still will do that. And so if you're on our online system, the idea is that it's a checkbox. You say yes, you affirm it, and then the system will take you directly to your net profits tax return. Right, and then for folks who are doing it on paper, we have to develop a paper form.
Right.
There's some other tax professionals might be asking questions about loss carry forwards. We're putting together a schedule or some forms to help keep track of some of that. All those details are going to be coming as we roll them out. We'll definitely be sharing that with everyone. That will definitely be in our LinkedIn showcase page. So I don't even know what the URL is for that. It's so long, but we'll get that. We'll put that in the comments. But we want to make people aware. We don't want to talk about it too much because we don't want to confuse people for this year, but we do want to make folks start to get the word out that this is coming for next year. Right? Yeah,
we want to just put you on notice, put it in the back of your mind. Again, this does not pertain to this filing season, but again, just stay tuned. We're going to come out with guidance. We're going to do outreach. So as we move further along in the process here and in developing this, we will present you with information.
Oh, definitely. As we go, we'll be putting it out there. Like I said, LinkedIn. We'll probably be doing more videos. Definitely part of our seminars with tax pros next year. And always talk to your tax professional.
Yes.
We always tell people
any questions.
You wouldn't go to court without a lawyer.
Call or email your tax advisor.
Do your taxes with a professional. Save yourself a headache.
Exactly.
Okay, so is there any other last minute tips that you want to talk about?
Yeah, one more thing. This isn't really specific to tax year 2019, but it involves e-filing and e-payment. So you should know that some Philadelphia taxes must be filed or paid electronically. So for example, the beverage tax, UNO tax, those taxes must be paid must be filed and paid electronically. Now, there's been a little confusion around the BERT and the NPT. So the story here is that if a taxpayer owes $5,000 or more on BERT or NPT, okay, then they must pay those taxes electronically. You do not have to file them electronically, though. You can still use the paper forms, but the payment has to be made electronically if it exceeds $5,000.
Okay, I mean, that seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty
Seems clear to
easy.
me.
It seems easy to remember. If you have more than $5,000 of
Right.
liability for NPT or BERT, you can pay electronically. You
Correct.
need to pay electronically, and we have all those options. You can pay for free using an e-check. And you can also enroll in our ACH program. That you want to give yourself some time for that, because that, this isn't a process that we not just like manage. It's something we have to set up with your bank, and so it's important that, like, if you need to make the payment by April 15th, don't call us on April 14th and say, I need to set up ACH, because there just isn't time for the process to work.
Right.
So give yourself a couple of weeks lead time to make sure that if you want to set up an ACH or set up electronic payments via your bank transfer, that and all those details are online, that you give yourself a few weeks ahead of time when you want to enroll in that program. But e-check's always free, and that's super easy.
Yep.
I know it's not all businesses do that, but okay.
And just one more, a plug for our website too. Our website has an enormous amount of information. It has guidance, right? It has forms. Good, It has, it's easy to, at least I think it's easy to use. So take advantage of that. And again, if you can't find something, you can always call us, or again, ask your tax advisor as well.
If you have a thorny question, like you have a very specific technical question that is specific to your business, and we're talking about things like, I do this type of business and I don't know if it's covered, or I don't know if I've met the threshold, or whatever those things are, reach out to us at revenuetaxadvisors@phila.gov. If you have a regular question, like I need to set up my account, or I don't see a payment applied correctly, like those kinds of account level stuff, you can email revenue@phila.gov. Like that's kind of a distinction. One email address, revenuetaxadvisors@phila.gov, is really for like very technical, sticky, thorny tax questions where you want clarification about a regulation or clarification about the law, whereas all the account level stuff or payment information, that should go to revenue@phila.gov. And thank you so much for all of this.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure, yes.
Emails are always great, and we love to see you online. And we hope that you like this video, and we hope that this is a good way to deliver content to you. But we are in person in the community over 300 times a year. You'll find revenue representatives talking to folks, businesses and residents, everyone in between.
We're on LinkedIn all the time, right?
We are. So I'm going to go through the rundown. I don't think I'm going to do that because we're not live. So.
Well, we'll publish it today.
Okay, all right. Joseph behind the camera says we're going to publish this today, so I should just go through the list. Okay, so tomorrow, Saturday, January 25th, we are going to be at the Northwest Economic Empowerment Summit. That starts at 8 in the morning at 7433 Lincoln Pike. I don't know how to say that. Limekiln.
I know it well.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for. I'm sorry.
Limekiln.
I don't have my Philadelphia cred. I'm sorry. The same day, on Saturday, January 25th, we're going to be at Councilwoman Maria Quinones-Sanchez's pop-up office hours. That's at 4667 Paul Street from 10 to 2. On Sunday, January 26th, we'll be at Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson's event at at the AME Church, Mount Pisgah. AME Church at 428 North 41st Street. That starts at 12:30 noon. So it starts at 12:30 in the afternoon. On Monday, starting at 1:30 in the afternoon, we'll be at North Central CDC. That's at 2332 North 15th Street. We're also at the Mayfair Civic Association at 7. So in the afternoon, we're in North Central Philly. At 7, we're up in Mayfair at 2990 St. Vincent Street. The next day, this is a huge week for us. The next day, Tuesday, January 28th, we'll be at the North Central CDC again, starting at 6 p.m. at 2332 North 15th Street. Wednesday, the 29th, we'll be at the Nicetown Rebuild Philadelphia community meeting. That's at 725 Lindley Avenue at 6 p.m. And then on Thursday, January 30th, we'll be at the Germantown United CDC/Center in the Park. That's at 5818 Germantown Avenue at 11 a.m. The same day, January 30th, that's a Thursday, we'll be at Neighbors of Overbrook Association, 1300 North 75th Street at 6:30 p.m. Oh my goodness, so many events. It's awesome. If you want us to speak at your event, please reach out to us. Email Vicki Riley at phila.gov. That's VICKI.RILEY@phila.gov. We will get you in the calendar, and we can table, we can speak to your group. We talk to business owners, we talk to residents.
Talk to anybody.
We talk to seniors. We talk to ourselves.
All the time.
Yeah, exactly. And also, speaking of the calendar, Happy Lunar New Year. Happy Lunar New Year for all those folks who are celebrating this weekend. And we'll see you next time. And I'm hopefully, like the internet gods will smile upon us and we'll be able to be live next time. Have a great day.
Thank you.